everybody, what's up? Feliz Jueves. Happy Thursday. Welcome to the Comfy stream. Sorry about that short little stream there. I forgot to update my titles before I started streaming, and I didn't want this to be another Scorched Earth stream. So I'll delete that little short 20-second or whatever it was video that popped up there. We've restarted. What's up, Neil, RC Scott, Tyler in the YouTube chat? Hey guys, what's up? Hello over to everybody on Periscope that's watching too. Just so you know, if you're watching on Periscope, I do see your chats. I have your chats up. I have a separate window that pulls up both chats. It pulls up Periscope chats a little delayed, so I can see all your messages. It just might take me a little bit to get to Periscope messages as opposed to YouTube messages. So if I'm not responding to your questions or your comments, it's not that I don't see you. It is that the chat's a little delayed for whatever reason. So just getting some last minute stuff set up here while I get going. Plug of Reason in the YouTube chat. Eleftheria Cube, hey, what's up? Over in YouTube chat. Tyler in the YouTube chat says, oof, what a week. What a week for real. Yeah, that's an understatement, isn't it? Well, let's just say, as I'm sure you all have seen, people are sure showing their true colors this week, aren't they? Some people. Over what's going on, over what's been going on for, I don't even know how long now, over these riots, protests that are happening. I don't really know what to say about that. I guess you guys are here to watch me ree about things. If that's what you're here for, that's what you're gonna get. I guess we'll get right into it. I guess we'll talk about Kenosha. Why don't we? So before I get into Kenosha, I want to say something. I won't say who this was because that I don't want to betray the person's confidence or whatever, but I do want to share this with you all because I think it'll put things into perspective. So I know someone through Twitter. We've been chatting for a while, and they're a very sweet person. We chat in DMs. She and her husband, I believe, live outside of Minneapolis, somewhere in Minnesota where riots have been happening. And lately, things have been getting more and more unhinged in their area, even though they don't live downtown. I don't believe they live in a suburb. And she confessed to me this week that she's getting scared to live in her own home. And she just got her first firearm this year, after seeing my tweets about self-defense and it being important to not rely on police to protect you and all that, which is fantastic. But just the fact that this person is such a genuine, sweet person, and I wish the world for her and her husband. She's younger than me, also a newlywed. The fact that somebody that hasn't done anything anywhere has to fear for their own life or feel unsafe is just disgusting to me. And I think that's a good setup for this stream. The fact that people who are just trying to live their lives, go about their daily lives, they don't want any trouble, they don't wish ill on anybody. The fact that people like that are having to deal with this bullshit it's disgusting to me. And what's especially disgusting to me is to see libertarians, imagine I'm saying that in air quotes, just not seem to care. They think it's a game. You know, when I first became a libertarian, I would always hear, it's a phase, you'll grow out of it. You know, the typical stuff you hear when you're younger and you get into something and you're really excited about it, whether it be a political ideology, anything, philosophy, any new religion, whatever. You hear, oh, it's a phase, you'll grow out of it. And that used to make me really mad when people would hear that I was libertarian and they would say, oh, well, it's a phase, you'll grow out of it, you'll eventually become such and such. But the longer that I am on the cesspool, and I mean that honestly, I feel like that word is very used. Well, it's used a lot to describe Twitter, but sometimes, for whatever fucking reason, especially during times like this, libertarian Twitter, in quotes, is truly a cesspool. Thankfully, I've slowly eliminated the cesspool, and I'm already blocked by much of the cesspool. But I still see stuff leak through that I don't even know how to accurately describe to you what it makes me feel like watching libertarians unironically side with people who have zero regard for human life, especially human life that doesn't agree with them, have zero regard for property rights, for the small business owners losing their businesses. And when I see people side with people like that, it makes me understand where people are coming from when they say that they think libertarians are A, either going through a phase, or B, just hate poor people and hate the little guy and don't actually care about the individual. I genuinely can see now where people that say those kinds of things are coming from. Watching the kind of ignorant shit that people say in times like this, I don't understand. I just don't understand. That's all I have to say. I don't understand where these people are coming from. So, on the topic of self-defense, I had a discussion with my husband on our way to get dinner tonight that I'm going to talk about with you all because it was a great discussion. He brought up something that I, being so immersed in libertarian circles, haven't thought about before. And he brought up the fact that when someone says to you, so for example, I had a conversation with this guy on Twitter. It wasn't really a conversation, it was him yelling at me basically, but I had a conversation with this guy probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago on my Twitter. And I don't remember how we got into the conversation, but he was essentially telling me that if someone broke into my home, I don't have the right to take that person out because that's not my place as another human, and that I shouldn't care about property more than human life, is how he phrased it. And he went so far as to say that I should try to negotiate with someone, even someone that's running away with my personal property, who has robbed my home, is on my property, running away with my property, who has invaded my family space. He told me I should just try to negotiate with people. I don't know if these people that think like this have never been in a situation of real danger or have never had to fear for their lives. I hate to use the word privilege, but people who think like that, who think that you could just negotiate with someone who has already, not only from a libertarian perspective, violated your property rights, but from a normal human perspective, has taken the opportunity to break into your home, onto your property, and try to steal your things and do God knows what else in your home, that you should try to negotiate with that person, is a level of naive that I cannot comprehend. I can't. So that sets up this conversation I had with my husband. On our way to get dinner tonight, my husband brought up the fact that many of these people, left libertarians, leftists, but I repeat myself, it's almost like they are coming from a place of, if someone's breaking into my house and I don't shoot them, but they stole from me, the state or my local government wouldn't give them the death penalty, so therefore it isn't my place to eliminate the threat permanently. Now, I don't know why libertarians seem to live in this fantasy world of you owing proportionality to someone who has violated your property rights or who is attacking you. You do not owe that person proportionality, and not only do you not owe them a proportional response, but in doing so, or thinking that you should do so, you are putting yourself in danger. And that line of thinking almost, it just necessitates, it's pushing this idea that self-defense doesn't exist, essentially. Because in a lot of people's minds, no matter what someone is doing to you, I don't care if they're breaking laws, whatever. As most of us know, the law does not determine morality, obviously. Otherwise, the state would not exist. It's not just that someone's breaking the law and entering your home. It's that, or that someone's attacking you and you have the right to defend yourself. It is like these people don't even have the concept or understand that self-defense can't be proportional by its nature, because you would have to be predicting what a person who is aggressing upon you, exactly what they're going to do, and there is no way to accurately predict without putting yourself in danger, which means you can't defend yourself because you might do something wrong. There is no way to know what that person is thinking. There's no way. And it's very, very strange and disturbing, deeply disturbing to me, to see anyone politically try to, push this narrative that self-defense doesn't exist, essentially. But not only that, but to see libertarians do it. Libertarians who allegedly, supposedly, believe in self-ownership and property rights. To see them say that you owe an aggressor upon you proportionality to what they're doing is, like I said, it's a level of naive that it's scary. It's very delusional. You're not living in the real world. And unfortunately, a lot of people are living in the real world and they don't have the luxury that you evidently do to think like this. Especially people that are living in areas that are being rioted in. Especially in areas, if that offends you, that are being protested in and magically buildings are being set on fire. People don't have that luxury anymore. It is just, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. The level of ignorance that you would have to be pushing that idea of proportionality or anything like that. There's only two options. Either you're being ignorant or you're being very subversive and you're trying to convince people that they owe other people who are aggressing upon them something. You don't. And I think part of it might also be that libertarians, and to some extent, I appreciate this about libertarians. Libertarians, I don't think a lot of them really like confrontation, and that's valid. You know, we shouldn't be constantly seeking out confrontation. I mean, like physical, whatever. But it's like they're so obsessed with that they will just blanket say that it's never okay. It's sometimes confrontation is necessary. And self-defense is a confrontation. And if you're going to be so non-confrontational that you are going to tell people that they do not, or that they should not be defending themselves, then we are not on the same side, quite frankly. And that's not to be mean. This is not to, call anyone out. This is me noticing a disturbing trend among political Twitter, especially libertarians lately. Sorry, I have not been reading the chat. I'm going to scroll through the chat. Ziyingli on YouTube said, is this an example of the mantra of equality that the left is so fond of? That is a great point. This could very well be a manifestation of that egalitarian mindset, the mindset that we are on equal footing, everyone's on equal footing, so therefore, even if you aggress upon me, I owe you proportionality. If you hit me with the fist, I have to hit you with fist. I can't shoot you. That sort of thing. That's stupid. I don't know how to nicely say that. My husband came in the room the other night. I was sitting on the computer doing something, and the entire Kenosha debacle had gone down. And he had seen a bunch of libertarians on Twitter saying that, you owe people proportionality and you shouldn't have a higher degree of violence in response to a lower degree of violence. You should try to make it equal, or whatever these people are saying, right? He came into the room and he pointed at the guitar behind me, the amp behind me, the laptop behind me, and he said, I could kill you with any of those objects very easily. You guys see me, I'm not a small person. My husband is much larger than I am. Do you think someone would tell me, if somebody was bashing me over the head with a guitar, not to shoot that person? If for some reason someone broke into my house and was using a blunt object and I had a firearm to defend myself, would you be saying to me, no, you should grab the other bass guitar and like have a sword guitar fight, guitar sword fight for your life? No, you would not say that. And that is the level of logic that I am seeing people use in this situation. It doesn't make any sense to me, and I am very worried seeing this trending among libertarians as well. Also, you guys are saying, like, I don't know. I get the phrase the greatest equalizer when it comes to firearms, but if I have a firearm and a man has a firearm, we're still not equal. Like, he still has a huge advantage. I mean, I get it. It's like to push that firearms are great, and I agree, they're fantastic. They're obviously a fantastic tool for self-defense, defense of your family, everything, but it's just kind of funny when people call it the great equalizer, because I mean, come on. Come on. It certainly helps. It helps the situation, but it's not. Men and women are not equal. So me having a gun does not make me equal to a dude. I'm just being very Reddit right now. I'm being nitpicky. That phrase is always, it makes me have a little twinge. Like, I get what you're saying. It's obviously easier to defend yourself, even if you're a smaller person. But okay, I'm scrolling back through the chat now because you guys have been chatting. And I was on a rant. Basically what I'm saying is I want you all to be paying very close attention to what's going on right now and pay very close attention to who is saying what. That's all. Be vigilant. Because I think some people are generally not good faith when it comes to these things. And it scares me because people that I may have previously thought said things in good faith have clearly shown that their worldview is so vastly different than mine, and that's a scary thing. It's almost like another red pill moment, like these people are not to be trusted. They're really not. And I'm sure there's some people that think I'm not trustworthy either, and that is fine. We don't, listen, decentralize. We don't need to be together. That's fine. But there's a lot less people I would ally with now, I'll just say that. I'm sure those people feel the same way. Someone asked what I think about some follow chain. Majin on YouTube asked what I think about the Libertarian 1000K follow train that's trending. Is it trending? That's cool. I mean, I haven't been included in it, obviously, because I'm not under 1,000, but that's cool. I don't do follow back Fridays or anything like that. One, because follow back Fridays and follow trains are actually a very easy way for people that mass report certain accounts to follow you around and start mass reporting anybody in a political section of the internet that they don't like. So follow back Friday posts and follow trains I don't do because I'm not trying to be targeted by people that take accounts down. I mean, that's cool. I guess it's cool it's trending. I also just don't do follow trains or anything like that because I want to follow people that I genuinely like. Now, I don't just want to follow people just because they're libertarian. I follow all kinds of different people. I'm not going to follow a bunch of people just because they say they're libertarian. I think that's kind of silly. I'm sure it's great networking for other accounts, but that's just not really my thing. It's cool that it's trending, though. I didn't see that it was trending. Tyler on YouTube said, follow people if you want to follow them. Yeah, exactly. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I'm not going to be nasty or anything about it. If people want to do follow trains and stuff like that to help network, that's cool. But it just, when you get to as many followers as I have, it clogs up your feed so much. I think I'm following like 1,500 people, and if I did a bunch of follow trains, I would be scrolling down my timeline for hours trying to look through and see people's tweets that I follow. Neil said, even without firearms, people should learn some martial arts as well. I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, but I mean, somebody my size, even if I knew martial arts, a lot of men could just snap my arm in half. Martial arts or not. It's not going to magically make me stronger than a dude. So, I get what you're saying, though. Like, anything to help with self-defense, I can get behind, but a lot of the female self-defense classes are bullshit. Sam on Periscope said, conservative here, like most of your takes. Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I have more left-leaning people that follow me for cosplay or for other things, and that's totally cool. RC Scott said, positive news. I just sent a short story to an editor so I can submit it to publishers. Nice. Good luck. Hopefully it gets through. I have some other friends that write poetry and stuff, and they're always submitting to different publications and stuff. So I know it's really exciting and nerve-wracking to send things off to publishers. Leo said, okay, back to the kid. No armor, 1 mag, and a Walmart special AR. Hits all targets while under duress. Most cops and military couldn't do that. One thing that I did, I don't want to say I thought it was funny. It was a little bit ironic. We'll say that. I don't know if you have ever been in an argument with leftists about firearms, but they always say, why would you shoot to kill? You should shoot to disarm them, or shoot them in the arm, or shoot them in the leg. Well, I mean, that's what happened in one case, at least. And people are still complaining. So John Douglas on YouTube, who's ready to fight some commies? I'm so done with these people. He didn't say people, he said something else. But I feel you, dude. I feel you. I sympathize completely. RC Scott said, great interview on Red Pill Nation. Ha, great day. Yeah, if you guys didn't see, I did do an interview with Scott Veritas of Red Pill Nation. He's a smaller YouTube channel like me. It was a great conversation. We talked about feminism, cosplay, red pilling, Jordan Peterson, all sorts of stuff. I shared it out on my community tab on my YouTube channel. If you're watching on YouTube after this stream, go check out my community tab of my channel. I shared the interview with Scott there. I thought it was a great conversation. People seem to really enjoy it. So make sure you go check that out and give his channel some love. Yeah, I don't know. So I mean, like I said, the biggest thing I want to keep in mind, I don't want to make this a doom and gloom thing. I know things seem really bad. You guys have to remember, this is an election year. We all knew this was coming. Do you guys remember how crazy 2016 was? I know that was seems like forever away, but do you remember how insane people were? I mean, I know there weren't mass riots and the Rona and all that stuff, but election years are always batshit insane. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Just remember, I think the best thing to remember, and I tweeted something out about this, is I personally, I know I said that I have been very worried and deeply disturbed by some things I've been seeing on social media, the reactions that people have had to certain events that have gone on lately. Really, I don't understand. But on the other hand, with everything that's going on, I'm also just kind of at peace. And I don't know if it's because I'm just in that point in my life where I finally feel established, completely adult. I've got everything handled. I'm, family coming, my own. I don't know what it is. I just feel confident, and I'm just kind of, at the risk of sounding cringe, I'm just vibing. Like, everything's so scary, everything is insane. There's a lot of things that are unsure right now, but I feel like now that I come from a place of understanding why these people are motivated to do what they do, and that I have the correct ideas, the truth on my side, not my truth, the truth. There's no such thing as my truth. It is the truth. I don't want to hear any of that. I just feel at peace. And I feel like with the constant barrage of media, the trending hashtags, the social justice bullshit, everything that's going on, the election, Democrats versus Republicans, people rioting in the streets, buildings being burned down, people being shot, all this stuff, you have to remember that it is meant to distract you. I'm sure the people whose businesses are being burned down don't feel that way, but you understand what I'm saying. They're all meant to distract you, to blackpill you, to give up, to say, you know what, screw it. None of this matters. Nothing I do matters anyway. That's a lie. That's the biggest lie. Now, I'm not going to give you some speech about how everyone's important and everyone can do their part. That's also bullshit. But there are things that people can do, and sometimes the individuals that can make a difference are the people getting blackpilled and being beaten into submission by this constant barrage of negative media and all this stuff, all these narratives. That the purpose of that is to distract you from any mission that you have. That mission could be writing a book. That mission could be taking care of your family, your kids. Maybe you're changing to homeschooling your own kids now because of the Rona. That's fantastic. Don't let all of this stuff, because don't get me wrong, I get it. There's a reason I streamed tonight, not last night. We'll just put it that way. I completely understand where people are coming from, being blackpilled, being discouraged. But that's letting them win. Don't let them win. Don't do it. That's all I'm saying. Like I said, it's been a hell of a ride these past couple days. One of the first YouTube chats I got was, what a week. Woof. Amen. But, you know, don't get sucked into that. Do what you can do. Do what you can do. That sounds bullshit. John in the YouTube chat, keep your chin up, protect your family. That's all you can do. And I know that that's frustrating when there are people out there telling you that not only should you not protect your family, but that it's your family's fault for these things. But there's light at the end of the tunnel. I really think there is. Everybody's doom and gloom right now. There's going to be a civil war. All this stuff. People were saying that after the 2016 election too. I don't know if you guys remember. After Trump won and the Democrats were crying on national television, everyone was like, here they come. Here we go. Now, 2020, election season. Like I said, I understand there's rioting. There's more things going on. There were shootings in 2016. I don't know if you all remember, conveniently, also during an election year, that were drummed up to be a huge deal. Mass protests with that too. Riots with that too. That was 2016. Again, 2020, election year. Shootings, riots, Rona on top of it. Really sucks, but these are not isolated. This is not unprecedented. It might be on a grander scale, but it's not like something like this has never, ever happened before. And all I'm saying is network with people that agree with you. Like I said, it would be easy to look at Twitter, and I spent the first little bit of the stream talking about how it scares me that people that I thought at least halfway agreed with me, showing their true colors and showing not only do they not agree, but they seem diametrically opposed to what I believe in, despite supposedly believing the same things that I do. That's very scary. Use this as a clarity moment to realize who people truly are and ally with people that do agree with you, that you can see now agree with you. There are also people that I would have never thought that I agreed with, that I'm looking at their tweets now and they seem a lot more consistent than people that I thought I agreed with 2 days ago. So don't use this as a blackpilling moment. It can be that. The memes are great. Everything like that is great. You know, it's so easy to get whipped up in everything. You've probably seen some of my tweets the past few days. I've definitely been guilty of getting whipped up into things, but also don't get so sucked into that you don't realize who is actually worth allying with and who isn't. and use that to talk to like-minded people that you might not have previously thought of talking to, and do things that way. Use this moment for what it should be used for. So that's all I have to say about that. I hate getting on these streams, and I did a Scorched Earth stream 2 weeks ago. It was some things had happened. It was very frustrating. Don't get me wrong, this is all extremely frustrating. But I'm just saying there are things that you can do. The lawyer that represented, I believe, the Covington kids is looking into or speaking to Kyle's family, Kyle of Kenosha, or is that what we're calling him now? Even though supposedly he's not from there. The Covington lawyer is now looking into talking to his family to potentially represent him. So it's very easy to get wrapped up in these situations. Use them for good, though. Don't use them to sink deeper into black pill, nihilism, all of that. Don't do that. We need you. Some of you are being absolute dicks. But the other ones, we need you. That's it. It's become more evident than ever, in my opinion, that decentralization is the way forward. I've been saying that for years now. But I do think another symptom of what's going on that is fantastic, aside from more people homeschooling because of the pandemic stuff, is more and more people are realizing that there are just some things about the way we live now that just don't make sense. Why aren't we decentralizing? Why aren't we allowing people to live in communities that they want to live in? Why are we forcing people to associate with people that they don't want to associate with? Anybody. Nobody on this earth should be forced to associate with people that they don't want to associate with. And what government does is it piles on to your back the burden of associating with businesses, people that you don't want to associate with. And I think we are seeing the results. And I don't know about you, but I don't like these results. I want everybody to live in a better world. We live in a society, allegedly. Let's make it one. Let's make it one worth living in. This is where I'm coming from. J. Edgar on YouTube, the Kenosha thing's a massive black pill to me. The riots are within a quarter mile of where I used to live. Yeah, J. Edgar, I believe you did live streams walking through Kenosha. Are they still up on your channel? Associate. Maybe I am tapping into my Sean Connery. I am allegedly of Scottish heritage. John Moran on YouTube. When does the Yu-Gi-Oh discussion start? Never. I don't think. I just wanted to pop on here essentially to talk about the situation that's going on. I know everybody is talking about it. It's the topic of the day. If you guys are wondering, J. Edgar, who's in the YouTube chat right now, he is at Ed's blog Twitter. That's EDSBLOGTW1TTER on Twitter. He has a lot of live streams. I saw him do a few live streams walking through the Kenosha carnage, unfortunately. And there's a link to his YouTube channel on his Twitter. So if you want to see, unfortunately, the damage and the devastation that's been going on in Kenosha, J. Edgar's Twitter is a great resource for that. I've seen him do the walkthroughs. It's devastating, and it's a good way to get perspective from a local, unfortunately, about what's going on. So. All I know is we are being conditioned and desensitized to rioting and violence. That is another issue I see. I don't want anyone to be watching CNN and be desensitized to people being trapped in the apartment buildings that are burning down behind the CNN journalist, alleged journalist. It's really scary. Like, I started this stream out. I know somebody that lives outside Minneapolis that is very scared and scared to live in their own home. J. Edgar in the YouTube chat said, I'm really glad I moved. He used to live very near Kenosha. He said he's glad he moved. If this happened 6 years ago, who knew? You know, who knows what's going to happen? It's very scary. Kenosha is not, from what I understand, a big area. It's not a city. You know what I mean? The people that this is happening to probably were watching what was going on in Minneapolis and were like, oh, that could never happen here. It's terrifying. And I don't want anyone to be desensitized to it. There is no way that anyone, no matter where you live, should look at that and not be terrified by it. Noel on YouTube said, imagine listening / reading any piece of mainstream media. Stopped doing that years ago. Completely useless. No need for indoctrination in my life. Yeah, I'm with you there. I do follow the mainstream news organizations because I want to know what propaganda and bullshit they're putting out lately. That's the only reason. I'm not one of those people that, I don't have cable news. I'll go and see what the news is reporting, but I don't go out of my way or sit in front of my TV for a couple hours every night watching the news. It's bullshit. Don't do that to your brain. Do not do it to your brain. Kenosha's population as of July 1st, 2019 was 99,944. It is technically the 4th largest city in Wisconsin. That's not really saying much. It's Wisconsin, but it's on the southwestern shore of Lake Michigan. Don't be self-doxing yourself in the chat. Vargas on Periscope said, I'm moving next month, leaving Seattle, heading back to the south. I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. RC Scott said, back to story number 4, Night Mac, thanks for being you. Thanks for joining in as always, RC Scott. Appreciate you. Good luck with your writing. Hopefully the publisher submission goes really well for you. Hannah on Periscope said, husband and I are currently saving money for a rural acreage when we can move. That sounds amazing. No, on YouTube, what are your thoughts on the concept of the covenant community, Mac? I fully support people voluntarily signing agreements to live in covenant communities of their choice, Hoppian style. I'm in full support of that. I see nothing wrong with it. If you don't like that idea, don't join in. Simple as that. I don't know why any libertarian would have an issue with that. I'm not saying that you were claiming I do have an issue with it. I appreciate the question. That's my view on them. I see nothing wrong with them. I see Neil in the YouTube chat said, I see nothing wrong with it, so to speak. Yeah, I don't see the downside. Zoidberg on YouTube said, I made the mistake of watching the BBC News while eating lunch a few times during the hysteria. Used to be raging at the lies within a few minutes. Yeah, I can't watch mainstream media for very long. Eleftheria Cube said, still want to move to the US despite all that's been happening. Oh, where are you from, if you don't mind saying? Zoidberg444 on YouTube says, my boomer parents believe every word of the media lies. It's depressing. I sympathize. Trust me, I sympathize. Oh, Eleftheria is from France. Hello from France. What time is it there? John Douglas on YouTube, have you been watching the RNC? I did not watch the DNC or the RNC. I will say something that I was happy about. I did see that there are talks about school choice within the Republican sphere during the convention, and I think that's great. Otherwise, I have no opinions on it. Joe Bo on YouTube said, I must say, I'm glad to see someone who isn't completely stupid on the internet. Thanks, Joe. I'm going to put that in my bio. Isn't completely stupid. No, but seriously, thanks. I appreciate it. I try. I certainly say some stupid things sometimes, but I do my best. No, on YouTube, I'm myself. I'm pretty Hoppian in leanings. Cool. If you're Hoppian in leanings, there is this publication that just started up called Hoppian.org. I know some of the people that write for it. They've been putting out some pretty decent articles from the Hoppian perspective. If you want to check that out, it looks pretty cool. They're over on Twitter at The Hoppian, I think. Let me look real quick. Make sure I'm giving you guys the right information. Yeah, they're on Twitter at The Hoppian, and the website is hoppian.org. It looks pretty cool. So Bear 444, 2 a.m. here in England, night shift crew here. Hey, what's up, night crew? I know how that is. My husband used to work night shifts. Vargas Double on Periscope said, I saw the stats for homeschooling were up a lot. Yeah, which I think is absolutely fantastic, obviously. If you followed me on Twitter for a while, you know I'm a huge advocate of homeschooling. Not just school choice, but homeschooling. And I'm very, very glad that parents are taking their children's education into literally their own hands. That makes me very happy. Oh, Null is from Romania. Almost 4 a.m. Well, early morning crew. What's up? Thanks for joining the stream. Appreciate it. Just got all kinds of people in here, huh? England, Romania, and France. Wild. Well, good thing I wasn't going to shit talk Europeans like I was planning on doing. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Fat on Periscope said, yo, you watched the Fred movie? What? No, we should talk Europors here too. Yeah, I don't think most people in Romania consider themselves typical European, from what I've seen. Alana Workman said, yeah, we were pretty much decided that we would homeschool our kids, but everything this year has cemented it. I'm so happy to hear that, Alana. I love Theory Cube said, you can 100% shit talk the French. There's a reason I want to get out. Yeah, I don't blame you. Club of Reason. What about small rural communities, public schools? They're usually more base, no? I still wouldn't recommend public schooling. Null said, Null, are you talking to me in the YouTube chat or somebody else? Oh, Cass said he's going to be heading to Romania early next year. Oh, that's exciting. The only European place I have been to for more than just like a layover flight is Poland. Poland is absolutely beautiful. I went there for 2 weeks in 8th grade, so it's been quite a while, but it's a beautiful country. Jadger said, I'm going back to lurk mode because I'm absolutely beat between the emotional hit of seeing my hometown rip apart in the community today at work. Rest well, dude. I'm so sorry. I can't even imagine. Well, I can't imagine. But, yeah, guys, please be sure to go check out J. Edgar's channel. His Twitter, like I said, is, I'll link it in the chat here. I'll type it in the chat here. So you guys can check out his Twitter if you guys have a Twitter. His YouTube channel has been a great resource these past few days, for sure, with the live streams. I just put his Twitter, that's his @ for Twitter. He's got his YouTube link in his bio there on Twitter. So go check that out, support his channel for sure. And rest well, dude. I'm so sorry. I can't imagine seeing your hometown, what's going on. It's just, it's disgusting. I completely sympathize with you over this. But yeah, I haven't been keeping up. I didn't keep up with the DNC. I'm not keeping up with the RNC. For the most part, I just don't really interact with party politics that much anymore unless I'm making fun of someone on Twitter. That's pretty much what it comes down to. I think I'm going to pop off of here. This was a short stream tonight. I may, you guys know how I am with my promises. I may stream later this weekend, potentially Sunday afternoon maybe. It might be a cosplay stream, maybe. Be sure to tune in for that if I do that. You guys can check me out over on Twitter. And if you're new, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please, everybody give this video a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. It helps me out a lot. If you're on Twitter, on Periscope, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that tonight wasn't too blackpilling. I wanted to talk about what was going on for sure, especially on libertarian Twitter with all this and how disgusted it's making me seeing libertarians react. But I wanted to give you guys some hope too, and I hope that I did that. You guys know I'll always be tweeting out my takes. I'll always try to give you guys something, some bit of hope, trying to not make it so dark. This is, after all, the Thursday night comfy stream. If this is your first time watching, I try to stream every Thursday evening. If I'm not going to stream, usually I will announce that on my community tab of my YouTube channel or over on my Twitter if I'm not going to stream or what day I'm going to stream instead. So to the Europeans, Romanians, the French, the English, thank you guys for tuning in. You guys are crazy watching it this early in the morning. I really appreciate you guys popping in and chatting. And I hope you guys all stay comfy. Who knows what's going to go on in the next couple days, but just know that there's hope. I know it doesn't seem like there is. I hate to sound like Obama, hope and change, but hope and change, guys. I hope you guys all have a great night. Try to stay positive, and give all the support that you can to the people in Kenosha. I really appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Feel free to tune in next time, and I will talk to you guys either later this week or next Thursday on the next Comfy stream, and I'm sure we'll have plenty to talk about. So have a good night, guys.